Hi, my name is Sarah Storr. I'm Rio Salado College's instruction librarian. Picture it. You've been asked to write a paper and have been told you must incorporate information from 2 scholarly articles within that paper. Our first question naturally is, what in the world is a scholarly article? Second question, how in the world do we find one? We'll start with the first. A scholarly article is an article written by an expert in a field of study. These experts are often faculty members at colleges, universities, or other research institutions, or they might be government or industry professionals. Scholarly articles are written to convey new and original research to other scholars. That's you. Scholarly articles are also sometimes called academic articles or peer-reviewed articles. We'll get to that peer-reviewed bit in just a minute. Scholarly articles typically have the following characteristics. You'll see the authors listed and will be given the author's credentials. That way you'll know who is responsible for the information and what makes them someone who might be credible on the topic. A scholarly article will have an abstract or brief summary of the article included. The abstract is at the beginning of the article. Because scholarly articles are presenting original research, they're typically quite lengthy. When you're trying to decide if a scholarly article might be relevant for your paper, start by reading the abstract, as it will give you a short synopsis of what the article contains, and you won't have to read through 12 pages to figure out if the article is actually about your topic. You'll often see sections in a scholarly article labeled with headings like Introduction, Methodology, and Conclusions. These section labels can help you find content that's relevant to what you're researching, so you can skip around to what you might need first before you do a deep dive into the rest of the article. Last, you'll always see a list of sources cited in a scholarly article. This might take the form of a references list at the end of an article or footnotes at the bottom of each page. Regardless of how it happens, a scholarly article will always make it very clear where the authors got their information so that you can read what they read and verify their sources. You may also hear scholarly articles referred to as peer-reviewed articles. A peer-reviewed article is a specific type of scholarly article. Before being accepted for publication, the article is read by reviewers who are also scholars and experts in that field. They look at the article to determine whether or not the researcher used sound methods in conducting their study. The peer review process doesn't guarantee perfection, but it's usually safe to say that peer-reviewed articles are highly credible. Okay, we know what scholarly and peer-reviewed articles are now. How in the world do you find them? This is where the Rio Salado Online Library comes in. Thanks to the library's online databases, finding these types of articles typically only requires you to click on a checkbox. We can handle that, right? When you do a search in the library's databases, look for a checkbox that reads scholarly or academic or scholarly/peer-reviewed. Depending on which database you're using, you might see that checkbox on the left side of the screen when your results display, or it may be one of the first things you see when you log into a database. That's how easy it is, though, to find scholarly articles using the library's databases, saving you tons of time when it comes to doing your research. One little caveat. Scholarly journals sometimes publish things like book reviews or letters to the editor. These are not the kinds of articles your instructors want you using when you are writing your paper. If you find a one-page article in your results and are thinking you've hit the scholarly article jackpot, you actually need to keep looking to make sure you find an article that contains original research. Last thing, if you ever have problems finding scholarly articles, we've got Ask a Librarian chat support available for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get to Ask a Librarian from Rio Learn, from the library homepage, or within our databases. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions related to finding scholarly articles or any other aspect of your research.